Engines scream, tires burn, then silence. In a flash, control is gone and chaos takes over. Real people, real impact, real footage. Hold your breath and get ready. Two heavy trucks charge toward each other on the open road. In a split second, they collide head-on, a violent crash that leaves twisted metal in its wake. As one car cautiously enters the intersection, another speeds in from the right. The collision is sudden and brutal, the sound of impact echoing through the crossroads. On a busy highway, a car collides with a Kamaz truck. The impact sends debris flying as traffic screeches to a halt. A Kamaz truck crosses the tracks just as a train approaches. In an instant, the massive locomotive slams into it, dragging the truck for several meters and leaving nothing but twisted wreckage behind. A truck tows a car on a rope, moving steadily down the uneven road. When it hits a bump, the towed vehicle swings wildly to the side, smashing into several parked cars, leaving a trail of damage behind. An ambulance rushes through a red light, sirens blaring. But a speeding car crosses the same intersection, colliding with it and flipping the ambulance onto its side. The race car hugs the edge of the track, sparks flying from its tires. But as it scrapes against the wall, flames erupt, engulfing the vehicle in seconds. Two planes approach each other in the open sky, their paths fatally aligned. In a split second, they collide head-on. One spirals out of control and crashes in a fiery descent. A sudden stop on a busy road triggers a chain reaction. 3 cars are damaged in the crash, while the driver who caused it speeds away without looking back. At a snowy intersection, a car turns slowly across the lane. Suddenly, another vehicle rushes in and hits it hard, the crash breaking the stillness of the scene. A drunk driver sped down the road, crashing into everything in his path. After parking, he walked away as if nothing happened, but police soon caught him. A passing car's dashcam captures an ordinary stretch of road. Then, out of nowhere, a fiery red explosion rises like a mushroom cloud, filling the sky with shock and awe. A speeding car rushes into an intersection, unable to stop in time. It bursts through the road's edge and skids out onto an open field. A car crashed into a pole and was badly dented, but the driver calmly got out and started jumping on the damage, trying to fix it himself. At a quiet tire shop, everything seems routine until a sudden explosion shatters the calm. In seconds, smoke and debris fill the air, turning an ordinary day into chaos. A heavy truck approaches too fast to brake in time. Within seconds, it plows into the line of waiting cars ahead, metal crunching under its unstoppable weight. A stolen car lost control and slammed into the fence, leaving behind a trail of destruction. A van tries to cross the railway just as the barriers come down, trapping it on the tracks. With nowhere to go, the driver can only wait until a speeding train slams into the rear of the vehicle. The car driver tried to overtake a bus but misjudged the distance, crashing into a passing vehicle and causing a shocking, horrific accident. A calm day at the market unfolds as people browse through the stalls. Within seconds, a thick white cloud engulfs the area, swallowing everything and everyone in sight. The truck's brakes fail, and it flies off the road, falling down the stairs. For a moment, the Kamaz hangs in the air, almost flipping over, before hitting the ground and continuing its crazy drive. Two cars race toward each other on a snowy road, visibility fading in the winter haze. A moment later, they collide head-on, the force of impact scattering debris across the frozen ground. The truck driver lost control and crashed into a car, a stark reminder to stay cautious on the road. A Kamaz truck rolls forward uncontrollably, slamming into another parked Kamaz. The driver standing nearby barely escapes being hit. The car skids on the icy road, the driver fighting to regain control. But as it spins around, the rear end slams straight into a passing truck, the struggle ending in a violent crash. The aircraft veers off its path, losing control as it descends. Seconds later, it slams into a wall, triggering a massive explosion that engulfs the scene in fire. The driver loses control and drifts onto the roadside. In seconds, the car skids sideways and flips over with a deafening crash. A car speeds through a puddle, drenching a passing cyclist in muddy water. But karma strikes quickly. Moments later, the driver loses control and skids off the road. A quiet road turns chaotic as a car drifts into the path of a bus. In a split second, calm gives way to catastrophe. A car started crashing into everything around it, and a nearby driver rushed over, only to discover, unbelievably, that a dog was behind the wheel trying to steal the car. A woman steps off the curb, unaware of the speeding car approaching. The driver swerves just in time, only to crash into the parked vehicle behind. A moment of inattention is all it takes. One car slams into another, the quiet street erupting with the sound of metal on metal. Losing control at high speed, the car veers off the road. In the next instant, it slams into a tree, the force of the crash leaving no room for error. On the roadside, a car burns fiercely, flames consuming its frame. The heat distorts the air as smoke rises into the cold sky, a haunting sight of destruction. Losing control, a Kamaz truck barrels forward uncontrollably. It plows into the cars ahead, triggering a massive and terrifying chain reaction crash. A massive truck barrels down the road, unable to slow in time. It plows into a small car ahead, the difference in size making the collision devastating. As the race begins, the car swerves unpredictably across the track. Moments later, white smoke pours from its engine before it crashes violently into the barrier. A car soared through the air above the road. Not Superman, not a meteor, but a real vehicle flying at full speed. The small car slips on the icy road, spinning out of control. In a split second, it crashes into an oncoming vehicle, a brief loss of grip turning into a serious collision. The small car loses grip on the icy surface, sliding sideways across the road. In an instant, It crashes into a truck turning onto the lane. The collision sudden and unavoidable. Roadside poles came crashing down onto the passing cars, but fortunately, no one was injured. At a busy intersection, a bus approaches too fast to stop in time. It slams into a small car ahead, a moment of miscalculation with devastating results. The car driver fell asleep at the wheel and crashed into a truck, a tragic outcome of a moment's drowsiness. A Formula One driver speeds into the corner, pushing the limits of control. Suddenly, the car spins out, crashes, and bursts into flames as marshals race toward the scene. At a busy intersection, two cars approach from different directions at high speed. In a split second, one slams into the side of the other, the crash echoing through the crossing. The car misjudges the distance and lightly bumps into a motorcycle slowing ahead. Fortunately, the rider keeps his balance and no one is hurt. An old building stands in silence, its walls cracked and weary with time. Then it suddenly collapses, sending up a massive cloud of dust as terrified bystanders run for safety. The plane wobbles in the sky, struggling to maintain its course. Moments later, it plunges to the ground, sending a massive cloud of smoke billowing into the air. The driver pulls over after hearing strange noises from his car. When he opens the hood, smoke begins to pour out, thickening rapidly as the engine overheats. One reckless maneuver sets off disaster. After being cut off, the second driver loses control and crashes into a roadside fence. A race car tears down the track at breakneck speed before losing control. It spins wildly, tumbling across the ground in a blur of dust and metal. Driving along a frozen roadside, the truck's wheel slips onto the snowy edge. As it spins helplessly, the massive vehicle begins to slide until it finally tips off the road into the drift below. A car speeds toward an intersection as another begins to turn. With the road coated in ice, the driver has no chance to stop, and the collision is sudden and severe. The truck lost control and slammed into a car, a brutal reminder of how quickly accidents can happen. In winter conditions, a car lost control and slammed into another at full speed, a truly terrifying crash on icy roads. The plane accelerates down the runway, engines roaring with power. Suddenly, it breaks apart and explodes, turning the takeoff into a fiery catastrophe. At a busy intersection, a driver fails to brake in time and crashes into the car ahead. The impact flips the vehicle over, sending it rolling violently across the pavement. A truck's wheel flew off and hit the car behind. The impact was so strong, the car flipped over. Crazy crashes, epic saves. Don't blink. Like and subscribe for more jaw-dropping moments.